gorgeous Tuesday morning. Hey, there's Kristen Koehler from IUP Lively Arts. Good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
Haven't seen you for a while. How are you?
I know. I'm great. How have you been?
Just great.
That's good.
And looking forward to our conversation today because if you're here, we're talking about really good shows at IUP.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We opened our season this past Saturday with our show with PSO, Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, and had a really nice crowd and really beautiful music. And we're excited to keep that season going with lots of great entertainment.
Yeah. How was the Eroica?
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Grammy nominated, so they brought that back to us, and we really enjoyed it. And wonderful baritone, Matthias, and I'm going to murder his last name, Gurn, I believe you pronounce it. But it was a beautiful evening.
Yeah. And Manfred Honig, he actually spoke to
Yes.
some students.
Yes. Before the show, we had a Q&A, Meet the Maestro, and DeSico Hall, and he's such an interesting gentleman and
Yeah, he is.
provided a lot of interesting topics for people to hear about.
He's very entertaining as a speaker,
He
too.
is. He's very charming.
Yeah, yeah. So that happened, and that sort of opened the season.
Yep. Started with a bang.
Raising the curtain on the season, and now you've got Niaz coming.
We do, and that's happening. That's our next show on the Ovation series, our professional touring series, and that's on Tuesday, October 22nd, in Gorell Recital Hall at 8 p.m., and that's kind of a blending of sort of this ancient mystical music, Iranian, blending Sufi poetry and folk songs with more modern electronic music. And that is with a group that has had music that's been on Hollywood TV and film soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
And Prince of Persia, Matrix, Thor, Dark World. So really beautiful, kind of wonderful music. So I think that's going to be a great evening.
I think this is where we use the word ethereal.
Ethereal. Yeah, I like that word. That's a good one.
Ethereal music.
Ethereal music.
Yeah. So that's going to be on Tuesday.
Yep.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and tickets still available for that. But I will say that, we already have a really good crowd expected. So if you're anticipating coming, we invite you to get your tickets soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be in Gorell Recital Hall, too.
Yeah.
Which is a great setting.
And just so I don't forget it, I'd like to mention just that the next thing coming up in the season is actually the Museum Gala. The annual Museum Gala is coming up on Saturday, and that's Saturday, October 19th, 6 to 10 p.m. in the University Museum and Blue Room on the first floor of Sutton Hall, and that has a disco theme this year.
I know. Are you going to wear some disco
Well,
clothes?
I have family visiting from out of town, so unfortunately I won't be able to make it, but I've given my ticket away to somebody who promises to be in good form. So, they always have a wonderful evening planned. So.
Well, and they are encouraging people to put on their disco clothes, come out. It's an evening of fun.
Very much so, very much so.
Yeah.
And a great fundraiser for, the University Museum. So I think
dancing.
it's well worth your time and your money.
Absolutely. So that's going to be happening on Saturday. You
Yes.
can get your tickets still for that.
Yes. I will say give us a call in the Lively Arts. We'll give you the phone number for the Department of Art, and hopefully they might be able to squeeze people in. But I just wanted to let people know that was going on.
Wonderful.
So if you missed it this year, think about joining us next year.
There you go. All right. So the season is underway. We've got ovations. We've got the various other packages and series that are going on as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to note that we have a lot of wonderful things happening with our I Love IUP events, and those are the productions that are done by our own students, faculty, and alumni from IUP. And, started off the year really wonderfully with Birth of the Cool, a tribute to Miles Davis, and that was a wonderful evening in Gorell. And actually that was in the Blue Room, and they did it kind of as a sort of jazz with the table, a jazz club. Yeah, with a club setting.
I bet that was great.
So that was really well received and actually opened Theater by the Grove. But our next event happening is the Awakening of Spring, and that's a Theater by the Grove event. That's a play, and it's a new adaptation of the classic The Awakening of Spring, and the adaptation is by two of our faculty members, Carrie J. Cole and Rob Greta, and that's kind of a coming-of-age story, so I think it has some mature themes in it, but that's opening on October 25th, and the run is October 25th, 26th. 27th is a matinee, and October 30th through November 2nd are evening performances, and that's in Waller Hall.
Okay, there you go. That's a nice setting, too.
Yeah.
Really is. And so that season is underway, the I Love IUP series. I like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
I like that. And you've got more performances in November and in December.
We do. We're continuing the season for Ovations in November with the Aquila Theater's production of George Orwell's 1984. And I think that promises to be a really interesting production with lots of timely content that we could still talk about today. It's funny how something that was written, a while ago still has themes that ring even truer to us today. Big Brother's watching. So.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing about it is the era in which it was written was the midst of World War II.
Yes.
And all of the spying and the intrigue of the war. That was all a part of what was going through George Orwell's mind. And you're right, those themes never go away.
Well, and when you think about technology and privacy and all the themes that we could bring about today that make this feel like it's still relevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's wonderful about great literature and great theater.
So tell me about the company that's doing this. It's Friday, November 15th.
It's the Aquila Theater, and they have been... I think they may have been here in the past, but they're well known, and they're coming from Balin Artists, Mark Balin Artists. We book them through, and they just are very well known. They're well reviewed. The New York Times called them a classically trained, modernly hip troupe. So they have a lot of great feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. And then coming up in November, it's Rent.
Rent, yes, it's our first Broadway musical, and that is happening on Thursday, November 21st at 7 p.m. And this is the 20th anniversary tour. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I know that it's
20
years. 20 years ago it opened.
Hard to believe.
So that is going to be a great production, and we'll swing into getting people into the holiday spirit in December with the Swingles.
Now tell me about the Swingles.
Well, this is a group that's reformed over the years, that, it's been around for decades, and they are going to be doing Christmas music, holiday music, and it's an a cappella group.
Ooh.
And that's happening in Gorell Recital Hall as well. Yeah. So I think, we've been getting a good response. People have been talking about it, saying how excited they are to have them come. Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about it is we've got a lot of good Christmas programming coming. But IUP's semester ends early in the month of December. So
It does.
So this is really right at the end.
Yeah, we're cutting it really close. So, but it was such a great title, it was hard to pass it up. So we're hoping we can still encourage people to get out of their dorm rooms and their homes to come listen to such a wonderful group.
Absolutely. And that season goes on in a number of different series, a number of different formats, and folks need to really latch on to this wonderful season that you have planned for IUP Lively Arts.
Yep, we're excited about it.
Well, sure. Now, as we think about people wanting to get tickets and stuffed stockings, because I said the other day, we're 75 days away from Christmas. That was a few days ago.
Well, and we do have now available online. We have gift certificates available online. So check out our website, iup.edu/livelyarts, or give our office a call. 724-357-2787 is our administrative office. And ask us about that. We'll be happy to get you set up with a great gift certificate, great stocking stuffer.
Absolutely. And we're talking right now this morning about things that are here in the fall semester, but when the spring semester starts up again, you've got some wonderful ovations.
We do. I'm I'm trying to keep careful with my clock here. We start off with the Amani Winds, which is a wonderful group that is celebrating a 20-year career, and they've been Grammy nominated. And they are a group that I was excited to get. It just happened to fall into our lap. They're going to be here when District Orchestra is here. So looking forward to exposing our kids that are visiting campus for District Orchestra are going to get to hear the Amani Winds.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Great
so
for
that's
them.
in January. And, for people who are looking for things to do when the weather starts to get not so great, we have River City Brass bringing in Brass-tacular.
Coming back to IUP.
Coming back to IUP. And I'm excited that there are going to be some brass players from IUP that are going to be joining in for some of the pieces on that. So that should be an exciting evening.
Terrific.
And that's in February. And also in February, if you're looking for something to do on Valentine's Day, we're having the troupe Mummenschanz, and they're doing a production of You and Me. And I don't know if you remember this. This might be giving away my age too much, but I grew up in the age of Muppets on TV. And I remember the first time I ever saw Mummenschanz was on a skit on the Muppets. But they have, they're called the Musicians of Silence, but they do beautiful visual theater. And it's something that's suitable for all ages. And, I think it's going to be a fun evening.
Yeah, they're really fascinating. Just looking at the pictures of them, and you remember them growing up. So
Yep.
You're a little bit younger than me, so so I don't remember them, but but there you go. And then you come later in the season. You've got Finding Neverland, the story of Peter Pan. You've got the West Virginia Dance Company coming, and the I Love IUP series continues as well.
Right.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And I think that Finding Neverland is going to be a really exciting show.
Yeah.
And that's sponsored by Hilton Garden Inn, our new hotel partners. We're really excited to be working with them this year.
Absolutely. A couple of things we didn't mention in the I Love IUP portion here this morning were some shows coming up, including Stargazer. That's Dance Theater. That's November 15th and 16th.
Yep. We're excited to have them come, and it has an original score by David Martinick, one of our music faculty, and they're bringing in some wonderful guest artists. And if you've ever been to a production with David's music and Holly's choreography, you're in for a real treat.
You're not sleeping through that.
No, you're not. Definitely not.
And one other in the fall semester, and it's another December show, Broadway Extravaganza.
Yes, Dr. Oliver Lowe, and that's going to feature IUP faculty and students performing a lot of the all-time favorite show tunes from Broadway's best shows. So I think that's going to be a fabulous evening, and that's on Thursday, December 5th in Fisher Auditorium. So something for everyone.
Absolutely. IUP.edu/Lively Arts.
Correct, for tickets online, or give us a call.
She is Kristen Koehler, IUP Lively Arts. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.